Going to your first job interview after coming home from prison can be a very daunting thing. Why? Because you know that you're going to be faced with the question, do you have any felonies? And I want to explain the best way I believe to respond to this question if you have not yet made it to your first job interview and you're just coming out of prison. Hey, I wish somebody gave me a heads up. First, what I need you to know is although it could be a knee jerk reaction to want to say no and hope that you get through the hiring process, what almost happens every single time if an individual decides to, well, say that they haven't had any felonies, but they did, once a background check is ran, eventually it could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month later, you're going to get that call from HR or the boss themselves is going to come tell you that it's time to go pack your stuff goodbye. That being said, you can approach this from a couple of different ways. First, you got to approach with honesty. No matter what, your employer should respect honesty and accountability. What I would strongly suggest is put next to it where there's room where you check off, do you have a felony? Put will explain during the interview process, happened years ago, etc. Whatever it is, very and extremely vague. Do not list the crime, etc. Just put that. This is my thoughts. That being said, if you do make it to the interview process, I want to be clear, sometimes potential employers will be thrown off by that anyways, but at least you were honest and you weren't running the risk of getting hired into a job that wasn't yours in the first place and you'd be removed from, like I explained prior. But if you get to the interview, here's what I need you to know. I don't want you to tell a war story. I don't want you to go into every single detail of the crime that you committed that night. I want you to highlight and focus on accountability. I want you to speak on the things that you were able to accomplish while you were incarcerated or since you've been home. I want you to speak to your family and your situation, why you're different now. And I want you to really highlight that. And if they do ask about your charge, I want you to say that I was a totally different person then. Of course, this is not guaranteed that you will automatically be hired into a position, but if you can show that you held yourself accountable, you've paid your debt to society, you have support, a plan, and something to lose, 9 times out of 10, you're way better and in a way better position than you were if you just said, yeah, I got locked up in 2003 for a robbery. I also wanted to be known that a lot of employers don't necessarily care about felonies as much anymore. Things have shifted. Yes, the job market is tricky right now, but overall, opportunities are there for people that have been convicted of felonies. My last little piece of advice is, listen, I made 27 cents in prison, so I was happy to make anything as long as it was a step in the right direction. I know cost of living is crazy, but we all got to start somewhere. Y'all know what it is, man. Stay free. Peace.